So we're here at the very close to the TC headquarters in Aarhus, Denmark, in a little rehearsal space with Bill and Ryan from Band of Horses. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having us, man. This was great.
So when did you start with the band?
Early 2007, I think February 2007, I joined the band. Ben, the singer, and I grew up together.
Yeah.
And he started the band in Seattle, and I had heard all about the first record and everything, and then he moved back to South Carolina where we grew up and asked me to do some demos for the second record, Cease to Begin. And then like after the first night I was in there playing with him, he's like, hey, you want to go to Europe and do a tour? I'm like, sure. Yeah. So yeah, it was 2007, so it's been about 6 years for me. And actually while we were making that record, that's where we met Bill.
That's right.
Yeah, he was working at the studio in Asheville, North Carolina, where we recorded Cease to Begin.
Did you guys know each other beforehand? Or?
No. We were fast friends, though. Yeah. Bill and I are I think, the longer we know each other, the more influences we're comfortable unveiling on each other, like old metal stuff.
Pleasures.
Yeah. But
metal stuff as well?
Huh?
Metal stuff as well? Or?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Like, I mean, I think the older you get, the more you kind of hone in on like really what influenced you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily exactly what you listen to today or whatever, but what you listened to when you were like going through puberty or whatever.
Like the formative years, right?
Yeah.
So can you reveal some secrets about what you guys were listening to? Or?
Well, when I checked out the first TonePrint, the first person I hit up on was Duff. And I'm a huge Duff fan. And
he did one too?
Wow. I had a chance to talk to him once, and I just really like that guy a lot. Yeah. But I grew up on Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden and Megadeth, Metallica.
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
You know? So a lot of more like pop metal for me.
Yeah.
Not the kind of, I wasn't too knowledgeable of the kind of seriously dark metal that you guys have up here. But
burning churches and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come around to that at some point. But I grew up, fascinated by MTV and beating on buckets and annoying my parents and neighbors. And I was a drummer when I was a kid. That was like my main.
So you played drums, guitar, keys
as
well?
And keys, and I kind of play all of them.
Yeah.
I try. I think anybody can play anything. It's just a matter of if they think they're good at it or not.
So playing with Band of Horses, I guess, is different than playing this, the stuff that you guys listened to when we were young. Then did it just come natural to you, or have you been playing and listening to that kind of music as well? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff in there that reminds me of some super old, I don't know. There's a lot in some of the stuff that attracted me to Band of Horses. A lot of different influences that maybe you don't see like right on the surface, But yeah, it comes natural because now we've been in the band so long as this unit together. It's kind of forming into we're taking little bits and pieces of influences.
I know that I'll be killed by the Facebook and YouTube guys if I don't ask you about your gear, because those guys will want to know that. So could both of you quickly run through, what bass, what amps, what, all the stuff that you use?
I use Fender basses.
Yeah.
I really, really like them, and it just works. It works perfectly with the band, and I use the Fender amps, and I have an original big muff that I use that's a big part of the sound, and then I have the early Mutron Octaver.
Oh, nice one.
And those are like secret weapons in.
The Voice of God is what the name of that pedal's called.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's a cool pedal.
Yeah.
Hard to come by these days, I guess.
Yeah.
I use a Vox AC30, and I try to get as much sound out of that as I can.
Do you crank it up?
Yeah, I mean, I crank the bass up on it pretty much, and then it tends to get a little bright with the kind of the guitars I use. Sometimes with Tellys. I use the Hagstrom guitar, which I'm loving right now. Vox guitar, one of their new ones that I love. Les Paul Jr. It's kind of, I don't have like a certain type of guitar that I use, but really love Fenders. But Fenders through the AC30 and with just some pedals, some MXR pedals, TC electronic pedals.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck, and thanks so much for dropping by here and taking the time for this.
Thank you so much, Dora. This is great, man. This is an honor.
Really enjoyed
Really.
it.